Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about what James McAvoy said about his time in the Fox X-Men movies, and also what he said about his potential future in the MCU. Let's go. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to say James did not say a whole lot about his potential future in MCU. Like, it wasn't a whole lot. It wasn't like a whole paragraph or pages and pages of shit. It was just very much like a couple sentences and that was it. But it's very interesting what he said. Okay, it's what we would expect him to say, and that's why I think we can kind of make some theories about where this is truly headed. So let's get into this GQ magazine article that was written up about him. They did a whole spread, photo shoot, everything, and it was entitled James McAvoy Gets It. I'm gonna skip down to the relevant part. So it says, a little while after Atonement, McAvoy made the first of 4 X-Men movies, playing a younger version of Patrick Stewart's Professor Charles Xavier. He had a lot of fun doing them and wants to dispel the rumors on the internet that he didn't enjoy his time or harbors negative feelings towards the Marvel machine. He said, "It was one of the most positive experiences I've had with a studio. I don't really see them as just money gigs. Days of Future Past, I think, is one of the better films that I've been involved in," and you're right about that. He does have one note though. "My biggest criticism of what we did throughout the 4 movies was that after the first movie, we didn't take advantage of the relationship between Xavier and Michael Fassbender's Magneto, which really formed the backbone of the first film. So I was like, why did we just eject that massive weapon?" The article goes on to say, "Why then do the fans get the impression that he wants nothing to do with the MCU, which has started to draft in old X-Men characters following Disney's acquisition of Fox?" He said, "I'm very quick to say no, I'm done, or I'm not that bothered about coming back because you move forward. Around the time we chat, rumors are swirling that he'll be pulled back into the fold for Avengers Secret Wars, the big centerpiece of the current run of films, which will reportedly see the cameo taps turned all the way on. So I have to ask, has Marvel boss Kevin Feige already called him about it?" And this was his answer: "I've definitely not got the call. And if I did, I would definitely not be telling you." So obviously, like, logically, this could go either way. Like, he really could not have been called by Kevin Feige, which to me doesn't make no goddamn sense. Like, y'all are pulling in these older characters, like the article said. It just doesn't make sense for them not to be calling this man. Like, come on now. Like, come on now. It's James McAvoy. Like, come on now. Like, he's Professor X, babes. Like, what I will say is that Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy, they played perfect. To me, like, you can say what you want about the Fox X-Men movies, and I definitely have a lot of critiques. I'm about to get into it. But they were excellent. To me, excellent as young Professor X and young fucking Magneto. Like, just amazing. I get into Michael Fassbender Magneto. I get into that shit. I love that shit. He's so good. He was so good. But yeah, I personally think, like, okay, obviously, and it's true, like, if Kevin Feige did call him, why the fuck would he say the shit? Like, I'm not risking shit. I know that Kevin Feige will have rights to your firstborn child and your right and left arms. He will have rights to your toes. Cut them off and send them to him in a box if you violate these fucking NDAs. So I wouldn't say shit. We're at the point now, especially with the multiverse and all this bullshit, we're at the point now where the MCU can make anything happen. They can make anything happen, and they don't mind doing it for a check, honey, for some coin, baby. And that's exactly what they're gonna get with these big ass movies coming out. It just don't make no sense to be sitting on. And then there were reports of Kevin Feige saying they want like a much bigger, crazier version of the portal scene that we got in Endgame. So, I mean, talk about all the characters. So it's just like, there's absolutely no reason for us to think that Marvel has not been in contact with fucking James McAvoy. Like, come on now. Come on now. Now, James made some critiques about the X-Men movies, the X-Men Fox movies. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. You're actually right. And I got some, let's just get into it. Let's just get it. We already here. Let's close out the video to talk about the fucking movies, girl. So he was right. I think that when you are talking about Professor X and Charles, like, I wish that they leaned even more heavily into their relationship, and just center everything else around that shit. I mean, there was so many critiques though in general made of the Fox X-Men movies that I do not have a problem with, and they just gonna have to take that L. Like, they gonna have to take, because remember, let's just talk about X-Men First Class and get into let's just talk about some of them. Remember this guy Darwin, he should have never fucking died. He should have never died. Darwin has the power of reactive evolution, which means that his body automatically adapts to any situation or environment he's placed in, allowing him to survive possibly anything. The exact nature and limits of his powers have not been revealed. So I was pissed when they did that. That shitty ass version of Mystique that was throughout all the fucking movies. No shade, no shade. That version of Mystique, especially after seeing the ones that came before, like the OG X-Men movies with Hugh Jackman and all that shit, and what Rebecca Romijn did with Mystique, I'm just like, y'all gotta bring it, girl. Like, what's going on? But I mean, everything that Magneto was doing with them coins, in the first, or with the coin in X-Men First Class, how he killed Shaw, that shit was so iconic. X-Men Days of Future Past, one of my favorites. I did like it. I did enjoy it. Even I think that at the end of this, like, Storm was barely starting to give me what I actually wanted to see from a Storm on a live action, movie. It's just like Storm barely. I was like, oh my gosh, if you just upped her powers a little more than what she was, because she was exploding jets and shit. It was fun. But yeah, that was a Sentinel storyline. I think this was the one where Magneto lifted up that goddamn stadium. Ugh, my god. Whew. Oh my god, I was gagging. Now, the Fox movies, when it comes to the Fox movies, like, they plots suck, and some of the Mystique sucked and all that shit, but like and the Storm, I hate when y'all depower my Storm. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. You tell me the tsunami girl, the girl who could control weather in space, y'all got her Static Shock got more power than the fucking live action Storm. I'd be so pissed, girl. And they be acting like lightning is the only powers that Storm ever fucking got. Oh, girl, I was so pissed. And then we had X-Men Apocalypse and X-Men Dark Phoenix. Like I said, the plot sucked and all that shit. The plots are annoying. Some of these characters are annoying. But some of those fight scenes, some of them power scenes really did give me my life. Like, I can't lie about that. Like, I'm not going to be sitting down and watching some of these movies. I'll watch X-Men, let's see. I will definitely watch X-Men First Class and Future Past, and I'll watch the fight scenes from X-Men Apocalypse, and I'll watch the fight scenes from X-Men Dark Phoenix, because when Magneto was tearing them girls up in that fucking train, I did get my life. You know, but as far as plot and things making sense, it just had no foundation in no kind of reality. Not even a make-believe comic book reality. Because, I mean, just as soon as you started X-Men Dark Phoenix, why is Mystique telling Storm how to use your powers and block up? I forget what she was telling Storm to do. Like, seal something up. And I'm just like, Storm doesn't need direction from Mystique to do what Storm do. Either way, the shit don't make no sense in a lot of movies, but the fight scenes worked. In some cases, they worked. Right, and I just love seeing at the end of Dark Phoenix. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I did like seeing Jean tear them girls up, like atomize those girls. Like, she didn't even think. She got literally stabbed through the fucking chest, and then came back down just armed with the Phoenix and did what she had to do and just literally dissolved these henchmen or where the fuck they was. So, like, yeah, I definitely agree with James McAvoy that if they leaned into the relationship that they had, that Professor X and Magneto had, it would have added a very interesting dynamic to a lot of these movies. But there was so much wrong with them Fox movies, girl. It was so much, like, it's okay, James, it's all right. We just got to make sure that if you're going into the MCU, that these people, the showrunners and stuff, movie runners, whatever, are listening to what you're saying, because you're right. Like, you're right. We need to see that. That was one of the whole points of the comics, to see just the juxtaposition of Professor X's ideologies versus Magneto's, right? And, you know, we did see some of that in the movies, but I agree we should have leaned into it more. And we got to get rid of these tired ass Storms. We got to, oh my gosh, Storm has never been done justice on live action. And I'm talking about her powers. I'm talking about her powers, girl. Maybe one time when she called them tornadoes down, and I'm talking about, this was the OG movies when she called them tornadoes down when they was flying. I forget who they were evading. They were, fighter jets. They were evading some fighter jets in the X-Jet. And that was, like I said, that was an OG movies. Maybe that time. But as far as like Storm getting her just due and being the true goddess of weather that she hasn't been done justice. She has not. So yeah, I feel like if Disney gonna do this, if Marvel, y'all gonna do this, y'all gonna call these characters back in. First of all, recast Storm, recast Mystique. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. If y'all gonna call these old characters in, y'all gotta make sure that you fix some of the issues that we had with the Fox movies. Y'all have to, please. I'm gonna be so mad if I have to see, Mystique act like she's a Girl Scout. Like, like, girl, get out my face with that fake ass Mystique. Get out my face with this fake ass Mystique. Like, please, girl. She don't care about none of you girls. She ain't no team leader. She care about herself. Like, move. Anyway, tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think about this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace.